is strong, but it must be smoked. Champagne performance, icy pollen performance in the UEFA Champions League. We cannot complain, ladies and gentlemen. It is as good as it gets on the grand stage. It's a wonderful night at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea 5, Ajax 1. I'm so happy because pretty much everything's spot on from start to finish. There was a little bozo moment. There's a little moment there that we have to correct, that we have to crystal clear and correct from the centre-back in tossing Unks. But apart from that, everything else fantastic. Spotless. Clean. We took them apart, dismantled them, created a high volume of chances, created a lot of chaos, which led to some brain-dead bozo moments from their defenders, and we took advantage, and we really could have won by more. 5-1 almost flatters them. We could have won that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 today, but we was unlucky in some of the final third finishing at the end in the second half. But listen, I thought the lineup was spot on from the get-go. Balance. We talk about it all the time. There's a 10 in the 10. There's a striker at striker. There's a right winger at right wing. There's a left winger at left wing. There's two midfielders. And there's a right back playing in midfield who inverts, but he's done it at Brighton plenty of time. And there's three defenders that are all in positions that they can play. Tosin's in the middle. Hato's on the left with the left foot. And it's Fofana on the right with the right foot. Wide defender. Goalkeeper's goalkeeper. He's wearing gloves. He's tied his shoelaces. He's ready to go. This is all we ask for is balance. And the balance, balanced. Because the performance was fantastic. I thought, first of all, I have to give a massive shout out to Gittens. I think that was Gittens' best performance in the Chelsea shirt so far. He got an assist. He had about 5 key passes. He was really measured with what he did when he received the ball. He had a nice variation and variety to his play. He had some crosses that were a little bit under hit, but then as he got into the game, or over hit, but as he got into the game, he started to clean that side of his game up. And he had some nice, like I said, some nice link-ups, some nice chance creation for others, and he got an assist. And I just thought at left wing, it was a really matured performance, much more matured and a lot less raw and erratic than we've seen in recent weeks. So that was fantastic to see. And he's kind of maybe given the manager a little bit of a conundrum on the left wing against Sunderland. Because I think that's the only position, when I go through the lineup that I'd play for Sunderland at home at the end, I think that's the only position that maybe some of you may disagree. Obviously, Neto got a goal and assist against Nottingham Forest. I think I'd start him because of his experience, his due diligence getting back. But you could make a case for Gittens after that performance because it was very positive. Another shout out. I want to give a shout out to Josh Acheampong, even though he came off the bench. I know I'm doing this in a weird order, but Josh Acheampong, when he came on, he's playing right back for Caicedo. He's coming into midfield. I just thought, again, he just looks so above his years, so measured, so composed, so mature, so astute when he dealt with his duels, passing, everything. Just fantastic to watch. Shout out to Estevao. Estevao today could have had a hat-trick. He got one goal. We're going to go through all the goals. But Estevao just never wavered. His commitment never wavered. He never ran out of energy. It's almost like he had 9 lives, like a cat out there. Man was just a spring chicken. He was duplicated. Copy and pasted. This guy was everywhere in this game. I saw him picking up the ball on the right, going up 1v1. Then he kind of got this free roll in the second half. He's playing as a false 9. He's playing the free roll. He's pulling out to the right. He's creating chances. He's pulling out to the left. He's getting on the end of crosses, trying to get his last toe on the end of it. Then he's in the middle. He's taking corners. He's doubling up on. He's fantastic. He's a breath of fresh air. He's a bundle of energy, and he's unpredictable in a good way because you never know what he's going to do. He takes shots. Very shot heavy, very good at making runs off the ball. I remember Lavia made a lovely pass into him, run off the ball. He's a fox in the box. We saw it against Liverpool, back post. He's trying to get into areas where he knows the ball's going to be. Awareness, anticipation. More so than we've seen from other forwards at times. This guy's remember when it was just Thuggery and Enzo Fernandez that almost understood how to smell the chance, smell where the ball's going. This guy seems to have a nous for it. And that's why he missed so many chances in this game. Some of the shots could have been better, but he missed a lot of chances, but he got into a lot of dangerous positions. And that is what you ask for of an 18-year-old coming from Brazil in his first season at Chelsea. Honestly, one of my favourite players already because he's just so exciting. It's never a dull moment. It's never boring when he's on the ball. And the players trust him. You can see they give him the ball. High volume of touches, high volume of dribbling, 1v1 opportunities. shooting, everything's just high volume with him. And the quality's there as well. Chance creation, great crossing. So really big shout out to him. Hato. Today was a big day for centre-backs because we know Josh Acheampong's got to start against Sunderland. So it was an opportunity for other centre-backs to step up. All three of them were out there in some capacity to try and prove. Trevor on the bench comes on to try and prove why they should play next to Josh. And I thought Hato won that race in many ways because we know we need a left footer. We know that he's good on the ball. And he was, again, measured and mature today against his old club. But we need that left footer over there. And because Unks had moments, I think Hato's got to be the one next to Josh against Sunderland. Even though I understand the need for experience and maybe vocal coaching throughout a match for Josh, someone to just keep him, on point, keep him in check, move this way, move that way, watch this man, watch that man. Maybe Chalobah and Tosin are vocalizing those things to him during the game. But in terms of individual errors and in terms of form, I could see why Hato could start that game. But let's get into it because the goals. First goal, bruh, what can you say? Chelsea at this point here with Guiu, he's doing what he has to do. It's not about who rates him highly, honest to God, he just has to play because he's just the only guy that gets that goal. He's the only guy that plays like a striker and does what strikers do. That is a striker's goal. He's offside for 80% of it. The free kick's taken short, he's offside. The ball's being worked out wide, he's offside. The cross comes in back post, he's still offside. But then when the ball's coming back across, he's onside. He's onside and he just taps it in. It's 1-0 to Chelsea and it's fantastic to see because nobody else gets the easy goals. Nobody else gets the tap-ins. How many times we talk about cutbacks, crosses, no one's there, no one's taken up the space, no one's snuffed out the danger. He is there, he's aware, and he brings intensity and press and commitment to the cause and makes runs and drags defenders away and creates space. So he has to play. Now, do I think any of these things are not what we should expect from a striker? Is it something that we should not expect at Chelsea Football Club? Yeah, we should. These are the basics of being a striker, what I've said. But because he's the only one that does it, it does seem foreign to us. It does seem miraculous. But yeah, link up, hold up, press, movement, some sort of aerial prowess, some sort of awareness and anticipation. I'm not talking about skills and long shots and thunder bastards and free kicks and headers, bullet headers and Osmans and Harry Kanes. We're just asking for the basics at Chelsea Football Club, and he's bringing the basics. So big up to him. He has to play against Sunderland. Now, boy, Caicedo, hey, they argue with me an awful lot about this guy. He's not complete, he's not a box-to-box, scoring a hell of a lot of goals. Now, I'm shameless, this one's deflected massively, but hey-ho, if you don't shoot, you don't score. He's scoring a lot of goals this season. This man might end up with 10 goals at the end of the season where he's going. He might end up with 10 goals. We get a penalty. Now, we also concede a penalty. Before I get to our penalties, we concede a penalty. Uncle Tosin. Every red card we concede, every penalty, every individual error and red card is almost always unnecessary because the ball is traveling laterally, horizontally, not away from goal, but, sideways. And there's other Chelsea bodies ready to ruffle and tumble, to get involved in the duel. And you just decide to just make a foul for no reason, give away a penalty, Weghorst puts it in 2-1. I'm not going to blame Jorgensen. But again, they're down to 10 men because they, before this, have hacked down our guy. Studs are up. Referees checked it on the VAR. Quickest VAR check of your life. Red card. They had a couple of nasty tackles in this game. I think we could have had maybe another penalty on top of the 2 penalties we had. And I think a couple of their players got away with not getting bookings when they should have. But it is what it is. We won 5-1. I'm not going to complain. So we get our penalty as well because Weghorst is being brain dead and he's diving into challenges that he doesn't need to. Enzo Fernandez, again, is going nowhere. But for some reason, he wants to fly into him. So, hey-ho, we'll take it right before half-time. 3-1, sticks it in. Then Estevao, couple minutes later, same shit. Again, one nibble at the back of the heel. Another nibble on the side of the ankle. You're not going anywhere, Estevao. From that position, you should be able to marshal him. But hey-ho, they're scared of the wonder kid. They're scared of the storyline. They need to take him down, take him out. So they do. Penalty again for the mighty Chelsea. Enzo Fernandez, sharing his caring, hands it over to Estevao Willian. And this brother sticks it in the top corner. Like it's nobody's business. He puts it in the top corner. And it's absolutely beautiful. Beautiful to see. So fantastic penalty. Took it like a fully grown mortgage-paying adult, but he's only a kid. And it was honestly a penalty that was like assertive. Like, oh, if we need someone to take a penalty, he actually might be one of the guys we look at, along with João Pedro, Enzo, and now maybe him. I can't think of whoever else, right? James. So fantastic again. Going into halftime, 4-1, we're absolutely cruising, right? Come back out, and we go and get that fifth. And we go and get that fifth. Now, could we have gone on to get more? Could we have gone on to score more goals? Yes, we could have. Yeah, we could have scored more goals. Absolutely. George gets his goal deflected. He celebrates. He smiles. George smiled today. George smiled today. This is probably the biggest highlight of everything that I've said so far. We don't see George smiling an awful lot when he scores. England under 21 scores a banger, straight face assassin. Chelsea goals, straight face assassin. Champions League first goal of his career in the champs, he smiled. And it was beautiful to see. He smiled. So obviously the manager's made loads of changes at this point. He's made like 3 subs. He's going crazy. He's let it off. And I'm like, yo, slow down with the substitutions, big man, because I want to see Walsh and I want to see McQueen, Lightning McQueen. But unfortunately, Maresca, he's got giddy. So, yeah, he did sub off Tosin, who needed to come off because he was a liability. He did sub off Caicedo because he's looking after him. And he did also sub off Guiu because, again, you know, he's looking at maybe starting him against Sunderland and he wants to bring on George and George gets his goal. And, you know, he validates the decision. George actually played a lot on the right in this game. In the right pocket, which I wasn't expecting. I was expecting to play up front, but then Estevao goes into that false 9 or free roll, and he just starts tearing it up, and he's just everywhere. Like I said earlier, he's on the right, doubling up. He's making runs off the ball. He's making runs towards the ball. He's picking up the ball, doing 1v1 dribbling. He's on the left. He's in the middle. He's in the pockets. He's linking up with Buonanotte. He's taking corners. He's just doing whatever he wants, and he did a lot. Whilst he did whatever he wanted, he did a lot. You saw why we allowed him to do whatever he wanted, because he made good use of the free roll. It wasn't like a passenger walking, I'm the shit roll. It was I'm going to literally do everything in the free roll. So fantastic. Then he brings on Chalobah as well, of course. Caicedo comes on after the 5th goal because he's like, yeah, forget all this. Chalobah's also coming on as well. And Walsh comes on to finish it off. And you know, Lavia gets his rest. He never finishes a game really at Chelsea. Santos comes on as well. You know, no Garnacho today, but, you know, it is what it is. And we're living, you know. Could we have maybe got McQueen in there? Could we have maybe got Fofana off because he had a bit of cramp? And does he really ever do 90? But hey-ho, we move. Maresca's looking after them same way he did with James. I ain't got no complaints. Hopefully we see McQueen against Qarabag. So, great day. Brilliant day. Can't complain. Fantastic day. Brilliant win. Brilliant performance. And Buonanotte, very safe and secure as a player. And that's how I'll describe him. He's in the pockets. Every single pass he makes is very short. It's very close quarters. And he's just intricately linking things. Sometimes he'll get the ball, he'll pass it back to you. Sometimes he'll get the ball, he'll pass it this way. He'll pass it that way. He doesn't look like he's playing any killer passes at the moment. Maybe he wants to be... Maybe he's playing safe because that's his game. Maybe he's playing safe because he doesn't want to give the ball away. I don't know what the instruction is. But he does just knit things together. So he's not really glowing on the statistics, but he did very well today just purely because he made everything around him work. Like, he didn't ruin the attack. He wasn't in the way. He didn't make things go wrong. And he's in a position where there's a lot of people and it's very clustered and it's very claustrophobic. So if you do not have the technical foundations that he has, it can go very wrong very quickly. So just credit to him for just knitting everything all together. It was like John Obi Mikel in the 10 is how I'd best describe it. And yeah, I'm happy. There's nothing more to say. 5-1 against Ajax, 6 points out of 9. Go and beat Quackbag and make it 9 out of 12. And then we move on to the next. Sunderland, I've basically let me give you my lineup for Sunderland. I want Sanchez in goal. I want Cucurella, Hato, Acheampong, Reece James, Caicedo, Enzo Fernandez. I want João Pedro in the 10, Guiu up front, Estevao right, Neto on the left. If you want to say Gittens on the left, absolutely understand it. But that's what I want against Sunderland. So, until further notice, I will bid you good night. In a bit, people. Peace. Come on, the Chelsea.